Hello, this is Eva Clark of Healing Multiple Sclerosis, healingms.com. We're going to talk about the day of the diagnosis. Because no matter what you believe right now or what you tell yourself about that very traumatic day, even if for many of you it was a relief because you didn't know what was happening in the body and they finally gave you something, that day was a very big day. And it broke down your future dreams, your thought of who you were and who would you become. I'm sorry for being and putting this so bluntly, but we really need to put it on the table so that we can actually do something about it. Because hiding emotions is exhausting, especially from ourselves. It is exhausting, it is stressful, and it can increase depression. Okay? One of the consequences of being diagnosed with MS are the beliefs about the disease and ourselves and our future that we are given by the people around us, even with the most positive of intentions, okay? And I'm going to include here your physicians, your physical therapists, your family members, the general public. And studies show, research shows that our perception of MS is far more devastating than what it truly is. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So let's start with our exercise. Take 3 pieces of paper, or maybe, take it out of a notebook, or perhaps some Post-its, or just, take a piece of paper and cut it into 3, or, a couple pieces of paper. Take paper and cut it and have 3 of them. Create 3. There's 3 sheets. Okay. On your first sheet, you are going to write the top negative belief you've been told regarding MS or MS progression. Here's some examples. Let's see. If you don't do everything right, you'll end up in a wheelchair in 10 years. That one sound familiar? Or it's a progressive disease that will only get worse. I've heard that one a lot from my clients. Or you'll die from it. I've heard that from family members. So actually write down the words you've been told, the one that's familiar, or maybe it might be a different one. That negative thing that's just right there in the background. We're going to actually, what we're doing here is we're naming, we are spelling out the elephant in the room. Now I'll give you 1 minute to finish. Okay. Before we continue, I want to give you some data regarding MS that you might not be aware of. A report in 2003, and so this is like more than 20 years ago, and we've advanced a lot in understanding inflammation and supplements and mind-based therapies and disease-modifying therapies, etc. Okay, so a report done in 2003 showed that only 20% of people diagnosed with MS will become bedridden or institutionalized. That was 2003, so it's less now. 20% will need some form of assistance, such as a walker, a cane, or a wheelchair. Again, that has reduced. And a whopping 60% will not require assistance or experience disability. And half of this group, the disease never progresses in any way, and the person, just experiences some periodic symptoms, and that's it. So, in reality, 60% of people with MS do not have symptoms that debilitate them to the point of needing assistance. only this 40%. And this is in 2003, so I would say this is even smaller now, the percentages. I have personally seen people stop using their walkers, get out of a wheelchair, start doing daily tasks they couldn't months before. So there's a lot of progress that has been done. And so on this second piece of paper, put the first piece of paper next to it. And on the second piece of paper, you are going to write the exact opposite. When I mean the exact opposite, I don't mean, for example, if you wrote, I will end up in a wheelchair in 10 years, you write, I won't end up in a wheelchair in 10 years, because wheelchair is still there in your mind's eye, right? We don't want that. This reminds me of when I was a kid. I just got my driver's license, and I had a little problem getting my dad's car out of the garage. So I go back upstairs and I go, Dad, do not get mad at me, but what do you think he did? He started practically hyperventilating, right? Because for the subconscious, it doesn't exist. All he heard was, oh, there's reason to be mad at me right now, right? I mean, if I would have known the NLP I know today, I probably said, oh my God, Dad, I had such a learning experience today. You're going to be so proud of me. Right? He would be like, tell me more, right? Okay, so coming back to what you're doing, if you write, I will end up in a wheelchair in 10 years, or I'm going to be stuck in a wheelchair, which is what most people dread, it might say, I'm going to be free of all obstacles to the life I really wanted to live, or something like that. Or this is a progressive disease that will only get worse. This is a regenerative disease that allow me to have more health than I never knew was possible. Do you understand where I'm going? All right, I'll give you 2 minutes on this one to write your opposite. And if it's over the top, it's over the top. If, for example, you wrote, I will die from MS, I will live because of my MS experience. Or I will live more fully because of this MS experience. Okay, now, the positive one you just wrote, put it to the side for a moment, and this negative one, hold in front of you. This is what you have been indirectly, subconsciously, and what those around you have been telling you is your future. How does this one feel, having it in front of you? Hopefully not too good. And as we said, this isn't true. Apart from the fact that this isn't true according to the studies, we don't know what's going to happen in the future, right? We don't have a crystal ball. Even crystal ball isn't always accurate, and our intuition is not always accurate. So this isn't accurate to have this in our future, or to believe this. This is based on, the knowledge of your physician, of maybe, when he went to school 30 years ago, or what little people in the general population actually see. Remember, there are many people diagnosed with MS that you don't even know have it, because they're those 30% that just don't have, just little things every once in a while, right? I have so many of my clients that no one around them knows that they have this. Okay, so this isn't true. This is based on concepts that weren't even accurate. So place this in the past. This has nothing to do with today. I get a little breather from it. How does that feel? Now, take the other one and place this one in your future. What's it like to have this one in your future instead? Are you feeling giddy? I know it's a little over the top, but how is it? It's almost nervous. Like, really? Can I? Am I allowed to? Am I sure? If it helps, take the one in the past and put it even further away. All right. And notice what it's like to have this one in the future and that one way, way over there. And now, neither of these are reasonable. This is what's called black and white thinking. That one isn't reasonable, and this one probably isn't either. But giving yourself this space, maybe you can put this one here on this table, take that third piece of paper, and with that way over there and that maybe over there, write yourself a different phrase, a different quote, a different belief that is more rational but continues to be positive. For example, the future is open to what I discover assists my body. As long as I keep moving forward in life, so does my body. Whatever comes to you. As you have some distance, especially from that one over there. What is a new belief that is logical yet positive? And now, hold that one in front of you. How does that one feel? And I would suggest to put this on your refrigerator, next to your bed, take a photo of it, have it on your phone, because this one is going to inspire you, is going to open you up to discover things that will assist you in getting better, will open up possibilities that one closed down. This one will reduce the stress. This is Eva Clark of Healing MS, and please write down below in the comments the quote you decided to take on instead and inspire others like you with these insights. See you tomorrow.